What's up YouTube, it's DishDudeRC back to the video, and these are the two cars that I got on Facebook Marketplace for an absolute steal. I got the two cars basically in, not going to say like new, but from the factory conditions. That's probably not the right phraseology either. Basically the trucks come like they come out of the box. That's the best way to say it. This truck is like 3-4 weeks old. This one's like 4 or 5 weeks old. The guy didn't have them very long and he sold them to me for 450 bucks total. This truck new on Amain cost 420 bucks. This one new on Amain cost 360. So I basically got two vehicles for nearly the price of one. This one does come with the wing. It's in this box. So let me show you this truck. And there's the Mad Wagon. This is the controller for the Mad Wagon. It's pretty nice. Has a little bit of an angled steering wheel. Another 2-position switch here on the front of the controller. Full trims and dual rates on the top. So that's nice. This is the transmitter for the Team Co-Rally. This is my first Team Co-Rally and my first Kyosho, so I'm excited for these. A bit smaller, but still has your dual rates, steering trim, and throttle trim, sorry. Two mistakes. Steering trim and steering dual rate. There didn't seem to be a throttle trim, but honestly, don't really need that. This is a 4S capable truck, and this is a 3S capable truck. This is the battery holder for the Kyosho. I'll go over that in a second. Let me get everything out. Tools that come with the Kyosho. Here's the wing for the Punisher. Standoffs and tools. Wing mount for the Punisher. Here's the manual for the Kyosho, and also your bind plug. Here's the manual for the Punisher, and the ESC manual right there on the back. Long hair, sorry, getting that out of the way. We'll figure out what this is in a second. And here are the trucks. Here they are. Wheelie bar right here on the Kyosho, a nice little two-wheel. Wheelie bar on the Punisher is just a single wheel. Right back there. Let me go ahead and get the wing installed on the Punisher, and then I'll give you an overview of what's underneath the bodies. Alright, the wing is affixed to the Punisher. Let's go ahead and get the bodies off. We'll put the transmitters aside so I have more space. Same thing with the manuals. Back to that. I don't know if these are the original body pins for the Kyosho, but oh well. The Kyosho, this back part is completely split. There you can also see it. And he did install some aftermarket lights. I don't see myself using the lights at all ever. So I might just take those off and try and sell them. It also appears that there's a crack right here on the body that he tried to fix with this foam tape. Yeah, you can kind of see it right here and right here. So it looks like this body's going to need some shoe goo and drywall tape. Thankfully, I have drywall tape. I'll just need to get some more shoe goo. Yeah, I don't see myself using any of these lights, so I'll just go ahead and take those out most likely. Here is the Kyosho. Holy crap, that is a big motor. 3668 2850 kV motor in the Kyosho. That sucker is massive. I wouldn't be surprised if people decide to run this thing on 4S. It's a Brains 10 Plus ESC. Kind of looks like a hobby wing, if I'm being honest. Has your little programming button and your power button. And this battery holder, it's got a Dean's plug, that's nice. I run Dean's, Traxxas, or XT60 in all my vehicles, so one of those three is the best for me. Get these battery straps off so you can better see. The guy I bought it from said he didn't have a battery that would go where this goes, which is right here. It kind of works like the Relarlo if you do the extended battery tray. So you're supposed to put your battery like right here, but he didn't have a battery that would fit right there, and so he just would put the battery up here on top and then run the Velcro straps in order to keep it in place. Let's do the tire check. Okay, nice and smooth. Plastic drive shafts up front. Look pretty much identical to your standard Traxxas drive shafts. Same thing in the rear, plastic drive shafts. The discs feel really smooth. The tires, nice and soft. I mean, those look like ECX Ruckus shocks, if I'm being honest. A little bit of air in there. Same with that one. Does have some preload clips. Adjustable body height. You can see the body pins for that here and here. No sway bars or places to mount a sway bar, it looks like. Yeah, the truck's dirty, but being dirty is not really all that bad. So, it's pretty good. An adjustable wheelie bar right here. Looks like you got 4 different positions that can go in. Sounds pretty smooth. Your receiver box. Yeah, everything looks pretty good on this truck. You're gonna have to figure out. Ooh. Those front shocks might need to be tuned, because they were bottoming out extremely easily, and they're not really rebounding much either. You might need to go with some bigger shocks in the front. Those don't look like they're going to do a very good job. I'm not going to change those yet, though. That's going to be after running it. So, these can go here. Put the body pins back in. And then we'll go with the Punisher. Take a peek off its body. I do like how the body clips go sideways, so that way whenever you flip the truck, they don't fall out. And you don't lose body pins. Super handy. Put them aside. Now for the Punisher, my first 4S 10 scale truck. This body pin tether, it's ripped through. I don't know if y'all can see that, it's pretty small. But yeah, so he just has it run through the body pin, and it works. This sucker looks like it's built really beefy. Here is the motor right here. It's another really big motor. Teamco Rally labeled. Let's see on the back. 3 to 4S capable. 725 size, I guess. 4-pole high torque. Doesn't give me a KV. It only gives me a 3 number dimension size. Aluminum servo horn, that's really cool, with the plastic steering link going to it. Now when I bought this truck, he did tell me that the steering linkage right here, the left side bell crank, is broken. I'm gonna see if you can see that on video right here. So that will need to be replaced before I fully run the truck. Also, there's a leaf trap down there, so I need to get that out. But other than that, the truck looks to be in pretty much perfect condition. Metal drive shafts, that's good. Also, no place for sway bars as far as I can tell. Although there is a spot for a droop. Actually, take that back. You can mount a sway bar if you want to. There's a little hole right here. Same on the other side where you can mount the sway bar, and then there's a hole right here where you can do a droop screw. Nice body spot right there. Here's a little connector where you could mount your holder for your GPS, which came in the package, the little holder. I believe that's this piece. That's the holder for your GPS. Not sure what that is. Came with tools though, so that's nice. And some shock inserts so you can tune your ride. Yeah. Shocks on here. They have shock caps. It's a plastic body. Pretty nice spring. This is loose. Those screws need to be tightened, that's all. Back one's good and solid. It's good. Has little places for the body to sit so that it doesn't just rip through it, which is very good as well. Although I've had more problems with it ripping up than ripping down, so we'll see how that holds up. It looks like there's two different positions you can put your body posts in if you want to run a different body, so that's really cool. But there's no way to like swivel these, even though it looks like there might be able to. The shocks are threaded body, so that's nice. This one comes, or has, I don't know if it came with originally, a IC5 connector. And I don't have any IC5 batteries, so either this connector is going to be getting the old snip, or I'm going to have to buy a battery with an IC5 or EC5 connector. We'll have to see. But yeah, this one is 4S capable, this one's only 3S capable. Although I would imagine that motor is probably 4S capable. It's a pretty low kV, so it shouldn't get too hot. And it's also extremely big, so it's going to be a torque monster. And this one has pillow ball suspension on the front and rear, which is not super common for 10th scale vehicles. It's more an 8th scale thing. That's just the play with the broken suspension. So, but they seem to be doing really well, the pillow balls on both of these. So that's good. Let's do the diff test. That seems pretty good. Now the fronts. Better with the rear. Ooh. That gets, it's tight, looser, tight, looser, tight, looser. Okay, so that back diff, there might be something wrong with the back diff. That's not good. Okay, let's try the drop test, see how the shocks are. It's moving the table, but the truck is not bottoming out, so that's pretty good. Shocks are a little bit slow to rebound. Otherwise pretty good. Fixed links in the front, so you can't adjust the toe, which if this thing has the steering fixed, it looks like it's going to be pretty much straight, so that's fine. Same thing in the back, you can't adjust the toe, although it's pillow ball on top in the front, and it's regular hinge pin style in the rear. So that's interesting that they did two different suspension style, well, they're both A-arms, but two different A-arm styles front to back. Let's look at let's compare the Kyosho. I know these are completely different trucks, but still. Fixed upper links in the Kyosho, whereas they have adjustable, oh, those are really thin, adjustable steering links in the Kyosho. Fixed upper links in the back, and that's all. At least it has a wheelie bar and protection, so for a little bit of protection in the back. That's always nice. All right, let's look through the manuals for the trucks. This bag I didn't even open. I gotta open that one. Oh, my bad. This is what the GPS goes in. I thought the other piece didn't look right. Yeah, there you go. And it has the screws for it too, right there. So this would go right here on the truck, so you could put a GPS, the GNS performance analyzer. That's what it's made for. Oops. Here is the, it's the radio instruction manual. Let's just see. I'm guessing it's in a bunch of different languages and just gives you a general overview of how to use a transmitter. Which, if you need to know how to use a transmitter, something else is wrong. Okay, yeah, a bunch of different languages. The first couple pages here in English just gives you a general overview of what the transmitter is and what the receiver is, different channels and stuff like that. Here's your receiver and channel transmitter info. Double checking that all your stuff is correct. And then you go into your cautions and warnings. Okay. Oh, here's the ESC instruction manual, the Torox 135, 2 to 4S capable, 135 amp, that's huge amp capacity. We flip around and just look. Okay, so here's just some general performance specifications for the ESC right here on the side. Warnings, diagram to show you how to hook up the ESC. Here is some programming information on this side, and I'm going to turn the punch setting up to 5, so I'll do that after the video is over. Here's more programming information right here. Always good to have that stuff in your manual for the ESC, and then it actually explains what the different programming modes are and what the different, it gives you like a description of what they do, so that's really handy. More programming information and some troubleshooting. Nice to see. Two very nice manuals, Corrali. I like that. All right, now here's the truck manual itself, the Punisher 4. Just going to do some generally looking over, and I'll pull out the highlights. First 3 pages are just generic info. Here's a big overview of the truck. General use procedures on the other side. Tells you more torque versus more speed and the different gearing options you have. Gives a couple different info about the truck and the different languages corresponding to the flag here. That's a very nice indication. I've heard that the 4S trucks could use to be geared up out of the factory, so I'd imagine I'm going to be changing this. It's a 5mm shaft diameter, motor shaft diameter. Imagine I'll be increasing the pinion size on that thing eventually, like I did with my Maverick Quantum. Truck is a fun truck, but just needed some more wheel speed. More information about the shocks and the full shock breakdown. That's really cool. Now we start getting to the exploded views of the truck. We got some 100,000 weight center diff fluid in the truck already. That's really cool. And then some 30,000 weight in the front front center diff. Let's see if there's a rear center diff or if that's also in the rear. 20,000 is in the rear diff. So a little bit thicker fluid in the front. I imagine that's going to send more power to the rear, so the front end won't lift up as easily and like just balloon out the tires. Diff breakdowns for looks like center and front and rear. Exploded views of the back end of the truck, the center of the truck. And parts list. Here's the steering bell crank assembly. I believe it's this part that I need. That's the part that broke right here. It's either this one or this one of the two. So it should be pretty cheap to fix. Parts list, parts list. Oh, it's screw reference diagrams. That's really cool. And then where to get parts. And like where to get like a bunch of screws. All right, Tim Corrali's manual. 2 thumbs up for me. That's a really comprehensive manual. Everything is broken down super well and explained super well. I'm going to put this on the truck. So I'm going to just leave that there. Kyosho, got to open that up. Bind plug and receiver antenna looks like. Actually, nope, that's just the bind plug. This manual is also very thick. And this side is in a bunch of languages that I can't read. Alright, general information on running the vehicle. Flipping over. Same. What comes in the box? Oh, the max dimensions for the battery capacity. That is super handy. So you know what to get and what will and won't fit. Radio information, super handy as well. Batteries, binding the transmitter to the receiver. These pages are quite thick too. More truck information. Adjusting steering. Looks like checking your throttle trim. ESC information. I wouldn't be surprised if that is a Hobbywing system. Hobbywing is well versed in the RC community, and they make high quality stuff that a lot of companies can partner with them and get for cheap. So, wouldn't be surprised. Here is programming information for that ESC. Also really good to have, and how the programming works. General driving the truck characteristics. Kyosho is a Japanese brand as far as I know, so that's why like the main language in here, the top one is Japanese. Now we're getting to more of the breakdown on how the truck works. Some exploded parts diagrams. There's the diff, shocks, front, steering. Actually, no, that's rear, sorry. Rear is up here in part 13. How the wheelie bar is attached. More differential. Rear bumper. Here's differential breakdown for the front and rear. Looks like. Shock breakdown. Body mounting system breakdown. Troubleshooting guide right here. Also really good to have. Larger chassis view. Man, these pictures are really good as well. Oh wow. Labeled screw breakdown diagram for the bottom of the chassis. That is extremely handy. If you ever like take a screw out and you can't remember which one goes where. Awesome to see. Okay, it is an adjustable motor mount. You can see that right here. Good to see. Here's the servo setup. Steering bell crank system. Back end. Shocks and diff again. And then spare parts breakdown list and a general notes page for customer use. It looks like warranty information right here. It's really cool. Also, another really good manual. I'm loving that these companies come with really good manuals from the factory. Traxxas, you got to up your game. All your manuals are found online. You need to start sending them with your trucks. So I'm betting. Oh yeah, this looks like something that comes with the Kyosho. Okay, so this is for the Kyosho, not for the. Is it though? Because these come with the Kyosho. It says KB10 on it right there. So does the Teamco Rally just not come with tools at all? Now, granted, it was an open box and it didn't come with a box, so Might not come with everything. I guess watch online for videos to see if this thing comes with any tools at all. But this one clearly comes with a very nice Allen wrench and a T-wrench, as well as, I mean, this is unopened, so it could go with theoretically either truck. But I'm going to guess that these shock pistons go with these shocks because they look to be too small to go in the big ones from the Team Corrali, the Punisher. So I'm going to guess this is if you want to run a different battery style. I don't know, though. I don't know what that is either. We'll have to look up some videos. Anyway, those are the two newest trucks I've purchased in my goal to purchase that really long list I showed you. What I did since I bought these is just like one combo pair. I just said they were both bought for $225, which for this one, that is like a $200 discount, and this one, that's like a $150 discount. So screaming deals on both of these. This one's gonna need a part, but the part should be pretty cheap, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, you can get parts in the US from Hobbyco for the Team Corrali, and then Horizon Hobby and Amain Hobbies carry parts for the Kyosho. So that should be good for this truck. And in the next video, I will be going over my current most recent purchase, which is another Facebook Marketplace purchase. Came in the original box, and it is a car I already have. This is going to be my first duplicate, but I have a plan for what I want to do with it already, and that's the whole reason I bought it. Also got that car for a screaming deal versus the new price. So stay tuned for that video. And in the meantime, have fun, drive some RCs, and I'll see you in the next video.